During the interview process, you might be asked to talk about your strengths and weaknesses. However, a lot of people don't know how to answer this question. But, if you set the right scene, you can give hiring managers an honest, well thought out answer that shows both how self-aware you are, and how professional you are. Hello everyone. Welcome to today's video. During this video, you will learn what are the best ways to answer an interview question about your strengths and weaknesses. Before we continue, make sure you hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to this channel for more videos like this. Click on the bell icon to get notified of new videos immediately. Have you done that? Good, let's get started. Why do employers ask about strengths and weaknesses? When a hiring manager asks you about your strengths and weaknesses, they are trying to figure out how self-aware you are. Do you know where you can improve, and if so, what steps have you taken? The interviewer also wants to know why you think your strengths are your best and how they can help you in the job you're applying for. Preparing ahead of time for an interview question about your strengths and weaknesses is a good use of your time before the interview. Even if you aren't asked about your strengths and weaknesses directly, writing out your answer to this common question will give you a straightforward but compelling description of what you bring to the table, and how you want to grow in the future. How to answer the question. In order to discuss your strengths and weaknesses effectively, you need to be honest, tell a story, add insight, and keep it short. How to answer what are your weaknesses? You might be asked about both your strengths and weaknesses in the same question or in two different questions. If you're asked about both your strengths and weaknesses at the same time, talk about your weakness first, so you can end on a good note. When talking about your flaws, give examples from your skills, habits, or personality traits. Depending on the job you're interviewing for, you may want to choose which one to focus on. Read the job description again to find out what might be most important for this role. A formula for discussing weaknesses. It's easy to figure out how to get your answer. First, say what you're bad at. Second, give more background information and a specific example or story of how this trait has shown up in your work life. That context will show potential employers how self-aware you are, and how committed you are to professional growth. Context, tell a story, add an insight and highlight the results. An example of how to answer what are your weaknesses. Context, math wasn't my strongest subject in school. To be honest, as a student, I didn't understand how it would be applicable in my adult life. Tell a story, within a few years of being in the working world, though, I realized that I wanted to take my career in a more analytical direction. At first, I wasn't sure where to begin, but I found some free online courses that refreshed the important basics for me. In my most recent job, this new foundation has enabled me to do my own goal setting and tracking. Add an insight and highlight the results. Actually, getting over the math anxiety I had when I was younger has been incredibly empowering. How to answer what are your strengths? Many people find it surprising how hard it is to talk about their strengths in an interview. It's hard to find a balance between being humble and coming across as confident. Use the job description as a guide when deciding which of your strengths to highlight, and use the same formula as for weakness. Context plus story plus insight and results. When giving a background for your personal strengths, talk about the things that make you qualified for the job and set you apart as a candidate. An example of how to answer what are your strengths. Context, I'm an empathetic person who's skilled at relating to people and making them feel heard. Tell a story. In one memorable instance from earlier this year, I was on a support call with a customer whose contract we had terminated. Reinstating the service agreement would have increased her rates dramatically. She was understandably upset and felt trapped because she couldn't be without car insurance for her and her family. It became clear very quickly that we couldn't meet her needs, but I wanted her to walk away with a favorable impression of the service we had provided. I talked her through some of her other options, even letting her know of other providers who might be able to offer her a lower rate, so she could avoid a lapse in coverage. In the feedback survey from that interaction, she specifically mentioned that she would still be recommending our services to others. Add an insight and highlight the results. In my career in customer support, I've had many interactions like this. They are complex but end with the customer still feeling positive. As you plan your answer, keep these other do's and don'ts in mind. Don't be too humble or put yourself down. Do highlight one or two important traits that are directly related to the role. Don't list multiple, vague strengths. Do give specific, relevant examples to back up your answer. Don't be cocky, exaggerate your strengths, or lie about what you can do. Do make sure that your strengths match the job description and set you apart as a candidate. This concludes the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Do you think you can answer the question better now? Let me know your thoughts in the comments box below. Remember to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to this channel for more videos like this. Make sure you also click on the bell icon to get notified of new videos immediately. Till the next video, bye for now.